What are you saying? Welcome to the rundown. Yes, this was a show that I was doing daily. Then I realized that really burnt me out. We're transitioning it to a weekly show where we just go about the news and just go around Reddit for the day. Anyway, let's get into it. So first things first, let's talk about Court of Gold. If you haven't seen it, then I'm surprised you went to this video. Court of Gold is the Netflix special detailing the 2024 Summer Olympics, mainly basketball. It highlighted, I think, Team Canada, Team USA, France, and Serbia. I think a lot of us NBA fans know a lot about the NBA side of things. A lot of the things from there we've kind of seen or already knew. It wasn't a surprise to us. But being able to see how Team France works, Team Canada works, Team Serbia works, and how their coaches interact with them. I didn't know Jordi Fernandez was the coach of Team Canada. He isn't now. So that was something, seeing how he coaches, getting a look in that locker room. But yeah, Court of Gold, would recommend. If you're into international basketball, but honestly, if you're just into basketball in general, we all know how fun the 2024 Olympics was, okay? We got to watch so much basketball without a single ad in between it. It made me realize how enjoyable the game is when you're not bombarded with ads and timeouts every 2 minutes. So that was fun. So last week, Kevin Durant's post or tweet. Knowing KD, it's probably a tweet. Oh, it's not. I think it's more fun to complain about the NBA than to actually watch it. Crazy. Cancel All-Star Weekend. Let's just give everybody a break since we're so miserable around this time. I think All-Star Game is always going to be something that the fans will complain about. I think it's for good reason. Because recently the All-Star Game has sucked. It's not been enjoyable to watch. But I think as a general fan, especially as an international fan, it's a lot of downtime, a lot of adverts, and a lot of stuff that isn't as fun or entertaining. I talk about this in the video that I made earlier last week. I think the solution to the All-Star Week is just a ones tournament. Replace the All-Star Game. Give us a ones tournament. Luka Dončić checks out of the game with 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, ending the Nuggets' 9-game winning streak. I just watched the video from Thinking Basketball, and I will say, go watch it. In regards to the Lakers versus the Nuggets, it really details how essentially they won it, how they stopped Jokic from being Jokic. For this one, Luka had his first great game as a Laker. 32, 10, and 7, 4 steals. Crazy work. I feel like Luka Dončić is such a brilliant passer and makes the game so easy. LeBron James is the kind of player who makes the game easier for people around him. Luka Dončić is that same mold. And if you're realizing that now, is these two players make the game easier for each other. If you're going to cheat and not guard Luka Dončić, there is a LeBron James on this same team. If you're going to cheat off LeBron James, Luka Dončić will find him. So the Lakers, I think, are kind of dangerous. If this game is what I think it is in terms of Luka Dončić saying, I'm here now, like I'm a part of this team, I'm integrated, I'm ready, I think the Lakers are one of the strongest teams in the West, and I think can only really get better. From Sham Sharania, San Antonio Spurs All-Star Victor Wembanyama is expected to miss the remainder of the season with deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder. So cards on the table, I had no clue what deep vein thrombosis was. No idea at all. Those were just words to me. Upon further reading, it's basically just a blood clot in his right shoulder. We've seen Amen Thompson, I think, and Brandon Ingram go through similar things, and I think with treatment, it's fine. The problem is when they become recurring, much in the case of Chris Bosh. Hopefully for Vic, fingers crossed, it's not a problem going forward, and it is just something that can be solved, like, in the now, Hopefully he's good. KD's advice to Wemby, go find some more Legos to put together, read some new books, and when it's time to get back on the court, lock in. I feel like for most players, that's like an insult, If someone told that to Miles Turner, like today, they'd be like, what are you talking about? But I feel like this is just genuine, nice advice to Wemby, Dallas executive says the organization was terrified of Luka Dončić. Joined the Mavs in 2018, presented a different type of mentality from Kobe Bryant. I'm assuming that's Kobe Bryant. Dončić drinks beer and smokes hookah, neither of which is atypical for a 25-year-old, but those behaviors didn't fit Harrison's mold. Questions about the organization's ability to hold Dončić accountable followed. They unsuccessfully pushed him to get into better shape even as he dominated the league. It doesn't matter what shape he's in if he's doing what he has been doing. This is a 5-time All-NBA player. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, come on now. He controlled more day-to-day decisions than the average NBA player does, such as practice schedules, through those superstars on other teams receive similar treatment. He's just the guy. You give him everything you want, anything he wants, because he is the guy. Everyone was terrified of the guy. Dončić filled a thermos with lemonade and sweet tea. Okay, come on now. Even I know that's not great. This is his first season playing less than 60 games. On the other side, Anthony Davis is 6 years older and has failed to compete in 60 games during 4 of the previous 6 seasons. Like, it's crazy to me, the idea that you trade someone who you think might have some issues with their body moving forward, like in the future, for someone who has an issue with their body right now. Just deep that for a second. That, like, oh yeah, no, we're concerned about Luka's history and him moving forward with his injury. So what we're going to do is we're going to trade him for a player who is notorious for being injured. Like, I would get it a bit more if they said, yeah, we traded Luka Dončić for Joel Embiid. Even though Joel Embiid has been marred with injuries for the past God knows how long, ever since he came into the league, right? You're still looking at the upside of saying Joel Embiid is still an MVP caliber player. He is an MVP. I can rationalize that a bit more. Talent for talent, you're getting 2 guys who are very, very similar. And it's no knock to AD. AD is a rung below the type of talent Luka Dončić is. Yeah, Anthony Edwards on rumors of Luka Dončić having weight problems prior to the Lakers-Mavs trade. He didn't look 270 to me. Man, if he averages 30 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds, I don't give a damn if he's 300 pounds. You're fine with me. Yeah, because what's the problem? If a player is producing these kind of numbers for you and like averaging those numbers, I don't give a shit if you're a little bit overweight. You know, like, it's fine. Luka Magic is here. Lakers up 20. Is this a step back? Oh, this is yeah. I feel like this is an example of how Luka's weight isn't a bad thing, right? Luka is not a fast player. He's not an athletic, but he's strong. He's able to push through guards or wings who are bigger than him and easily make the shot. So I think it's a non-issue, man. Hall of Fame coach Gregg Popovich is not expected to make a return this season, and his future is uncertain as he recovers from a mild stroke suffered in November. I hope the best for Coach Pop, man. My entire life as an NBA fan, Coach Pop has been there, pretty much. And I don't think there is an NBA coach better than Gregg Popovich. You can make the argument of Phil Jackson, you can make whoever you want. But I think top of the list sits Coach Pop, 5-time NBA champion, and he's done it with multiple different iterations of Spurs teams. There's not many like him, and I hope that he gets to coach his final game. You know, I think it's a bit sad that if he just has to retire as is, that's tough, especially because Coach Pop lost his wife quite recently, like within the last couple, like 5 or 6 years. I think at that age, it's just a bit tough that you don't really have anyone to go home to, innit? So I think in a way, this Spurs team was like family to him. And I think it's a bit rough to lose that, especially at this point in your life, not have anyone with you. But this is very deep for a basketball video. Again, I just hope he gets to coach his final game. I hope, you know, we get to see one last time all the Coach Pop antics, just celebrate his history and tenure as probably the greatest coach of all time. To me, at least, the greatest coach of all time. LeBron James gives a hug to the... Oh, this is adorable. Yep, I remember this. Oh, that's sweet. Hold on. If you don't know this, I'll pull it up. Oh, yeah, it's nice that he remembers that. Yeah, this is sweet. I'm surprised he recognized her, because she doesn't look very similar, but I guess that's just the angle it's at. Luka Dončić really offended every sensibility that Nico Harrison had about how to approach the game of basketball and couldn't stand how Dončić comported himself. Come on. Like, this is just another hit piece about Luka Dončić. I feel like, at this point, move on. Like, it is what it is, man. Move on. This is what I was talking about. So they edit out and put a logo over Luka's face in the hype video while showing other ex-players multiple times. And the thing is, like, realistically, as a hype video, it's entertaining. It's fine. I don't mind it. I enjoy the song. I enjoy the video. You put together some clips and I'm good. I want to find the bit that they're talking about. Well, I know where the bit they're talking about is, but they use a very similar effect to it, I think. Yeah, here. It's somewhere in this area. This is the bit where I think that's Luka Dončić. But it's wild that you do that anyway, because, like, look, as someone who studied film and has a graduate's degree in film, right? That sucks. This sucks, right? That just doesn't look great. And the fact that the Mavs logo is just there, nah, it don't look great. If that is Luka, right? This shot here, hold on, where is it? This shot here looks really stupid because he's right there. He's here. Come on now. There, right? Who cares? At this point, that this man is part of your history. Just use a different clip. You're telling me you don't have any more clips of the Mavs without Luka Dončić? Come on now. Mark Williams on a rescinded trade to the Lakers. I didn't think I had failed my physical. That didn't even cross my mind. The night I got traded, I played hella minutes. I didn't think in any world that was possible. Maybe they just didn't want him. OKC superstar / MVP frontrunner Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has parted ways with his representation to make the bold move of serving as his own agent. That's a lot of extra work for a player to do. Shai, I'd like the Supermax, please. I mean, what? Yeah, 320 M's. He gets 12.8 back. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he has like people in his circle that he's just willing to pay. And it's just a case of, yeah, cool. You'll do it for less money. The Suns have lost 8 of their last 10 and are sitting at 11th at 26 and 29. Is it still 26 and 29? Hold on. 27 and 30. So, hey, we got better at least. Kind of, not really. KD and Book are both top 9 in points per game. When was the last time a team with 2 top players was this bad? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. We just suck. The Nuggets led the league in scoring, had the number 6 Michael Adams and number 10 Orlando Woolridge scorers by points per game. They went 20 and 62. They played no defense. They allowed their opponents to score 131 points per game. They just wanted to outscore them. They scored 158 in a game and lost. Damn. They lost by what? 173 points? Jeez, that's nuts. I still don't understand why they brought Beal to the team. Him and Booker are essentially the same type of. Matt Ishbia just became owner and wanted to create a win-now team and got desperate and traded Beal for KD, similar to Lakers Westbrook trade. Completely miscalculated and overconfident. Yes, pretty much. Except, yeah, as this guy says, the Luka robbery makes up for everything. It's fine now. Yeah, I never really liked KD and Booker without a true point guard, so adding another scorer like that never made any sense. I don't know. It's just that Bradley Beal contract is just too big. I don't understand why they completely blew up the 2023 team. They accounted for more than half the Nuggets' losses those playoffs, so they just added more shooting. They would have been fine. Jock Landau outplayed Ayton in the playoffs, and Chris Paul had regressed and got hurt again. Yeah, I think that 2023 season for the Suns was kind of just a flash in the pan. It was Book and KD playing out of their minds. I don't think you were going to get that again. You know, I think that was it. That was the only time you were going to get that, and it stopped. The Suns suck. I know, I get it. Yuck. Don't ever remind me. I don't want to talk about them until the end of the season. LeBron James becomes the first person in NBA history to have multiple 40-point games at the age of 40. At this point, he is breaking the record for the oldest player to score a 40-point game. Evan Mobley on who'll be the best player in 5 years, either me or Vic. I actually think Evan Mobley is going to be one of the best players in the league. We're going to see Evan Mobley versus Victor Wembanyama for a while. Oh, I didn't see this. Mavericks delete hype video that fans thought blurred out Luka Dončić. The musician takes responsibility. The video blurred out a few players with Dallas's colors and logo. None of the players who were censored out were Dončić. The video stung for Dallas fans who are already sensitive about the recent. They deleted the video. Clarified that other former players, not Dončić, were the ones who had blacked out. Yeah, I didn't think they blacked out Luka. Neither of those look like Luka. I would never be part of anything intended to remove, censor, or disrespect Luka Dončić. The video was produced by my team with the intention of energizing and uniting Mavericks fans. Yeah, I don't think it was about Luka. I think they thought it looked cool. But I think in this current moment, and I think you have to read the room a bit, you have to say, if you're going to black out any player, people are going to think it's Luka. And it just didn't look like Luka. Luka always will be a part of Mavericks history. I have nothing but respect for him and everything he's done for the franchise. Tracked down the original clips and found out the censored players were Quentin Grimes and Maxi Kleber, not Dončić. Grimes was sent to the 76ers in a trade earlier this month, and Kleber was sent to the Lakers as part of the Dončić trade. And both players are visible at other parts of the video. Same with Luka. So I don't think it was a case of censoring someone out. I just think it was misconstrued as that. The Mavericks have quietly gone 5-1 in their last 6, with the one loss being 1 point in overtime. See, this is a thing. I feel like this is that next man up mentality, but I feel like next man up mentality doesn't last that long. Derek Lively, Norman Powell are out. AD, Gafford are out too. PJ, as this is said, is also injured. I think they'll have their role players who don't often get time to play, but they're really showing up to be like, okay, I got this. I feel like once the scouting report comes back a bit on them and they realize, oh, that's how you stop this guy, I think it's fine. Max Christie has been playing very well. If they get their centers back by playoff time, we could upset someone. I think the Mavericks being in the playoffs might be a very safe bet. They're the 8th seed, right? It's the Warriors, Kings, Suns, Spurs. I think for all intents and purposes, I think the Spurs are out of the race. Without Vic, I just don't see it. I understand that De'Aaron Fox is a great player and this team is good. I just don't see them climbing any further, and especially they're in a hole right now. I think it's just time to tank for Cooper Flag. The Suns, I don't think the Suns make it. I think, yes, it's a bit doom and gloom from me, but I think it's done. I think the season is wrapped for them. It just doesn't feel like they're going to make a big push, especially, I think from off the top of my head, with regarding their strength of schedule, I think it's done. I think the Suns just haven't got anything left in the tank, and I think from here on out, this team is going to blow up soon. The Kings could make a push, maybe. It depends on how well they gel together. I haven't really watched many of the Kings games recently. The Warriors could, but I don't think that stops the Mavericks from getting into the playoffs, you know? Because now that I think these teams are out, right? These 5 teams are out. I think that the Kings, solid. The Warriors, solid. The Mavericks, they're already a couple games safe. So the worst they could drop to is 10th. I don't think the Suns are catching back up. So that's pretty good for them. I don't think the Timberwolves dropping out. LA's not dropping. The Clippers aren't. The Rockets aren't. Yeah, I don't think the Mavs are going to make any crazy moves where they'll go up the standings that high. I think the Timberwolves should be able to sustain. I think the Clippers, I think they're good for where they are. They're a couple games ahead as well. I think the highest the Mavs go, potentially, like the max, might be like the 6th seed. And they're definitely in that realm. You know, these 3 games, these 3 teams are like a game apart. These 4 teams are like a game apart, you know? So I think that's fine. But yeah, that was my take on the Mavericks. That was my take on what has happened this week. Thank you for watching the rundown. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Have a nice week. Take good care of yourself. I'll see you next week with more NBA news. Bye-bye now.